This is support for stressful times. And when I think about how much I personally need support and how I personally feel these times are quite stressful, I take a deep breath, and it feels good to acknowledge that. Do you want to try that yourself? Just acknowledging to yourself however you're feeling right now. In fact, let's take a little longer for that, because it's also nice to feel your feet in contact with something, and your seat on probably you're sitting, although if you're standing or lying down, that's okay too. And really just feeling your body supported, feeling your breathing, and just asking yourself, how am I doing right now? You know how nice it is when somebody you love asks you, how are you doing right now? Not just how are you fine, but how are you? I love it when that happens. And you could be asking yourself that question, you know? You could be giving yourself the loving, how are you? How are you really? Yeah, let's do that right now. And if you want to choose all panelists and attendees before you chat, then everybody can see what you write. And it's so great if you want to tell us how you are. So how am I? Well, as I mentioned, I feel joy that I'm able to be with you all right now. Up till now, my day has been, there's a feeling of tension. There's a sense of something in me scared about uncertainty. Oh, and of course, that phrase, something in me scared about uncertainty. Most of you have heard me talk about this before, but it's really one of my favorite ways to give myself some resources and resilience when my stomach is tense. So something in my stomach is tense, and I can be with that. Should we try that for a moment together? Even if you've done it many times before, let's try it together. So you asked yourself, how am I right now? And we mean especially, how are you emotionally and how are you in your body? And that includes body tension, the places in the body that are letting us know that something doesn't feel safe right now, or there's something scary. Or it might be a feeling of longing. Maybe you're missing somebody today. So whatever it is you're feeling, just notice what it is. And then say, something in me feels. Yeah, there's tension in my stomach. Something in me feels like tension in my stomach. Or I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm worried. Something in me is anxious. Something in me is nervous. Something in me is worried. Why do we do that? Do you feel the difference that it makes? The reason we do that is so that we're not pushing any feelings away. And when I say something in me is worried, then I have access to the more there is to me. So then I am here to be with that worried place in me. I can call it a big worried place. I can call it a worried place that feels like all of me, but there's still more to me here to give a little company to that. Wow. And I'm just noticing what people wrote. Yeah. Elizabeth writes, I thought I was doing well on this sunny day, but when I checked inside, my stomach was burning and I'm scared about all the quote unquote mistakes I've been making today. I bet you mean mistakes like reading the newspaper without washing it first. I don't know. But anyway, I love how you put mistakes in quotation marks. So stomach is burning. I'm sensing something feels like burning in my stomach right now. Yeah. Very good. And let's see what else people wrote. Somebody says, Magdalene says, I'm sensing quite a lot of unsettled parts within me. Yeah, there might not be just one. There might be something and something and something. And then you are the space where all of those can be as they are. Try that. Try saying that inside right now. I am the space where all of these worried parts, unsettled parts can be as they are. You know what I love about the process that I do, focusing, is that we never tell ourselves we're wrong for how we feel. We never try to make ourselves feel differently. And yet, by being able to turn toward what we're feeling, we do feel differently, just naturally. Like this feeling can be as it is. Izzy writes, something in me feels lonely and anxious. Yes. Beautiful. Nice. And something, Sarah writes, something in me is holding itself suspended, trying to be away from all the unpredictable change. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you today about uncertainty and things being unpredictable. I know that that is a big deal for my inner parts. So much is uncertain, so much is unknown. There's a feeling that things are going to get worse, but we don't know. There are people wondering when they can go back to their jobs. We don't know. So there are people home with their kids who wonder when the school will start, so life goes back to quote unquote normal. We don't know. So what do we do with uncertainty? Well, it starts by acknowledging those places in us that have a hard time with us, with uncertainty, that have a hard time with that. Because uncertainty is not necessarily automatically an anxiety-making thing. It would be possible to have a quality of openness, like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And I don't say that to say that you should be feeling that way. What I mean is that our circumstances don't cause our feelings all by themselves. We do have something to say. It's our interactive process with our circumstances, with the stuff that's happening out there, that results in how we feel. And even if things out there aren't going to change by you sitting with your body feelings, you can feel a lot better, a lot lighter. Let's see how we can help with that today. Yeah. I'm just noticing, I'm sensing, somebody wrote, I'm sensing something that feels like heartache in my left side of my chest, and I am here with this. Yeah, so when you say, I'm sensing something in me feels, and then you can notice where in your body you feel it, and then you can add the words, and I am here with this. So let's pause and do that for a moment. So notice how you're feeling. You say, something in me feels. See if that brings a difference already. And now add the words, I am sensing. So I am sensing something in me feels lonely, scared, upset, tired. And then add, and I am here with that. I am here. You can say to it, I am here with you. Hi, scared feeling. I am here with you. We're not telling the scared feeling that everything's going to be okay. We're not telling the scared feeling that it shouldn't be scared, right? Those actually don't help, I find. If I tell my scared feelings that they shouldn't be scared, they get more scared. all we're saying is, I'm here with you. It's an inner relationship. It's inner presence. I see somebody in the, somebody wrote, something in me wants to go eat despite just having eaten. Something is worried that when I go to the grocery store, there won't be the food I want. So that's our next step today. There are parts of us that don't just have feelings, but that want to take actions. And sometimes they do, like going and eating when we're actually not really hungry. So anxiety eating, or other things we may do out of our sense of anxiety that another part of us thinks that's not really helping, it's not really healthy. So what do you do with parts that want to do things that another part of you doesn't think is a good idea? Well, we want to use that same language. Something in me wants to eat. I am sensing something in me wants to eat. I am sensing something in me wants to eat. I'm saying to it, I'm here with you. But the next step there might be to give it some empathy for wanting to eat. Like, yeah, there's something you want to help me with that you think you would help. You think there's something you think I would get from eating. So hello to the part that wants to eat, and hello, maybe you want to let me know what you want me to be able to feel if I go and eat right now. So empathy for these behaviors and what they want for us from going and doing this. You know, actually one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today was other people. Maybe you are living at close quarters with other people right now in a way that you don't usually do. Maybe usually people in your family go to school and to work, but now you're all together. Or there may be others of you who are more alone than you usually would be. Nobody comes in and out of your home. You don't get to go out and meet with friends, and get a nice hug for the day. So both of those circumstances we want to acknowledge can be hard. But right now I want to talk about other people, because I have parts of me that I'm home with my partner of 20 years. Usually we both go to work. Now we're here together all day, and we've been having more fights about some of them are really about nothing, and some of them are about disagreements about, are you washing your hands enough? And so what helps there? Are any of you experiencing things like that, like more tensions with the people you're spending more time with because of this world health crisis? So that's another something in us that needs some company. Because I know for me, if I'm around Joe and he says something and I want to go, I feel like fighting him. That's a part of me, and what I need to do right there is pause. Because the part wants to react quickly. I want to right now snap back and let you know that what you said isn't good. So this is the tip I have for you today, is the power of pausing in your relationship interactions. Everybody go on a timeout, even if it's to different corners of the room. And let's take some deep breaths. And what I do when I'm on that kind of timeout, I don't like the way I would have responded to you if I had responded right then. So I'm going to take a little break and I'll be back. And I go, maybe I just go sit in the bathroom, you know. And what I do there is I say to myself, okay, something in me got triggered. Something in me wanted to attack. Let's spend a little time with that and listen to what that is. And it's usually something feeling scared. And I get to say to it, I sense how scared you are. And it calms down. And I walk out and I go back into the interaction, and it's already changed because of me walking out of it and walking back into it. So, other people, yeah. Hard to remember to pause, somebody wrote in the chat. Yeah. No, see, these are habits. And definitely remembering to pause is not always easy. And so if you forgot to pause and snapped anyway, then what you can do is pause afterward. It happens to me a lot of the time. Oh, I already said it, but now I need to pause because I'm sorry, that wasn't a nice way to talk to you. I need to go spend some time with myself and see what was going on there and give some company to myself. Yeah, somebody writes, I live with my son and we're fighting about safe practices. Yeah, isn't that a pity? And obviously, those kinds of fights are driven by how worried we are about the other person and ourselves. So if the worry that we're feeling gets some company, then how we are in the interaction can have some more space and calm. I still don't know if there's an easy answer. So, no easy answers. But we do have this much. We have the ability to give ourselves some company. Yeah, I understand. And people are saying they can relate. Yeah, Rebecca said, something in me wants to do something constantly, and I've got too much time on my hands. Yeah, that would be an interesting process, to turn toward the something in you that wants to do something. And I would have two questions for that part. One is, what's the emotion that it's feeling that's driving the urge to do something? It might be that a part of you that's gotta do is either feeling anxious, or it's also maybe trying not to feel anxious. So the eating, the gotta do something, maybe some people are cleaning a lot. Yeah, maybe some people are watching a lot of screens. And one of the things that can be going on there is that a part of us feels it has to protect us from our anxious feelings by getting us to to eat, to watch Netflix, to clean, to do anything at all. Then we can turn toward that part and just say, I sense you're worried about what will happen if I feel my feelings. And let it talk to us about what it's so worried about. You know, we're not asking parts what they're worried about in order to come up with solutions or answers. Sometimes solutions or answers just come naturally, but often the relief comes simply from hearing ourselves, from hearing what those parts of us are worried about. Oh, that's what you're worried about. And even if what it's worried about is simply true, or might be true, or nobody knows if it's true, hearing it, acknowledging it, really, give this a try, because I think you'll be amazed. I know I am. I'm still amazed at what a big difference it makes just to acknowledge. Oh, and I had said to that person who wants to do something, I had 2 questions she might want to ask to her do something part. The other is, what would it like to do? Yeah. Sort that drawer full of old photographs. Write a memoir of that very special summer in your life. There are things that we can do, but what would it like to do is the important thing. Yeah. So, Ann writes, I'm at home with my 2 kids and something in me can't stand any other person to want something from me. I'm very sensitive about my boundaries. Good to know, right? So when you become aware of what you're sensitive about and what you can't stand, there's a big difference there from just growling at people, yelling at people, snapping at people. Yeah. Yeah. Elizabeth writes, sometimes the other person doesn't want to pause, but presses harder. You can always go to the bathroom. Let's go. I got to go to the bathroom. That's what I'm grateful to. There's always one place to escape where nobody can follow you. At least that's true in my world. So somebody's talking about keeping the spirits up and not giving into depression and despair, but let's talk about despair. So despair also comes from a part of you, but now we're talking about what seems to be thoughts. And this is something that I think is very, very important. So we have thoughts that come from anxiety that are, I'm going to lose all my money, there'll be no food in the stores, I'm going to catch it and then I'll die in a hospital corridor because there's not enough ventilators. In other words, these things might happen, but you can tell it's an anxious thought. It's a thought from an anxious part of you because it states with absolute certainty that it will happen. Do you see what I mean? It might happen, but the part says it's going to happen. And then we have feelings in response to those thoughts that are feelings of depression and despair. So if we can do something with the part that has the thoughts, we may get some more inner space to feel some difference inside. Okay, so here's what we do. Take an anxious thought. It's usually a prediction about the future. I'm going to lose all my money. I'll take that as an example. I'm going to lose all my money. And there's more future predictions that follow from that. I'll be homeless, I'll live on the streets. So change the language to something in me says I'm going to lose all my money. I think that works better than something in me thinks or believes. Something in me says I'm going to lose all my money. Now say, I am aware of something in me that says I'm going to lose all my money. So we're getting some separation from the part that has the thought. And that's very important because without that, having the thought feels to your nervous system like it's reality. Really having that separation is so important. So I am sensing something in me says I'm going to lose all my money. Now, here's the next thing that's important. Don't go into whether it's true or not. Well, it's probably not true, but maybe it is. That is a trap that will just increase the anxiety and despair. Right now, we don't know the truth, so trying to figure out the truth is just going to keep us a circular trap going. Where do we go instead of trying to determine what's true? We go into a relationship with this part of you that's saying this. It's an anxious part. Something in me says I'm going to lose all my money. I'm sensing something that says I'm going to lose all my money. I'm saying hello to that. And I'm saying, would you like to tell me more about what worries you about that? Would you like to tell me more about what worries you about that? And what I'm wanting to do is make a kind of listening contact with that part. So it feels like I'm empathizing with its concerns, but we're not talking about whether it's true or not. So that's a powerful method for stressful thoughts that can be a real reason why we're feeling, parts of us might be feeling despair. So a person asks in the chat, what if you feel tense and wired, but not from any particular thought, just sort of stuck in fight or flight and overall tension? Yeah, well, then we have that easier move that I told you about at the beginning of the call, which is to say something in me feels tense and wired, and I am sitting with it. And then give it some empathy too. Because there may be that as you sit with it, as you sense it, it may tell you something that it's tense about. So we're near the end of our time, and we are doing this again next week at the same time. This recording will be put up. If you want to talk to me more about what's going on for you, feel free to write to me. Just click on any email you get from our office and write to me. It'll all go to me. Tell me about, because I see that there's been more questions in the chat than I've been able to respond to. I'm happy to do that outside this call. Let's pause with a moment of inner contact again. Taking a nice deep breath, feeling your body supported. And let me say that, you know, grounding your body in support is a priceless thing to do. Let's do that all day long, right? Let's do it right now together. You feel your feet. You feel your seat. Kind of settle in. Let what you're sitting on really hold you. Be aware of your breath. Notice if your breath deepens when you bring awareness to it. And maybe just say the words, I am here. I am here. In the present moment, there's less anxiety. Anxiety is about what's coming or what might come. So if you can get into right now, that's right. And it's a very physical right now, like feet are touching something, seat touching something, back touching something. There's your breath, and I am here. Glad you're here. Nice to feel our connection today. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. Hope to see you next week. Be safe and be well, all right? Take care. Bye.